welcome back to the podcast known as Kill the Computer. As always, Caleb, how are you doing today?
I can't complain. Things are going really well. We've got a lot of nice weather. What the hell? Work is easy. Things are good.
Hell yeah. And today I'm so excited to talk about, I really enjoyed the movie, The Odyssey. We're not going to really talk about the movie so much. I think, I think most people have seen it at this point. You don't need to watch that movie to listen to this episode, though, because we're going to be talking about the narratives that I think a lot of us saw online play out with, Elon Musk. We'll get to the whole thing, of course, but we're joined by Parker Molloy, writer of The Present Age. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing all right. I'm just, I'm living and surviving.
Yeah. No, thank you for joining us. I think so. This narrative around the Odyssey, I genuinely did not think what happened online with this movie would happen. I didn't realize people would get this insane about this movie. I know we've seen for years now the marble statue type of guy online sort of melted down at anything, at any chance they could get, but this was sort of like their mainstream debut in a way, right?
Yeah. I mean, it really seems like it because there were two reasons that they were very upset about the Odyssey, and it's Elliot Page being in the movie at all, and Lupita Nyong'o. Her being in it and her playing Helen of Troy, right there, you've got it was the two things in the movie that people didn't like were the two things that were most likely to set Elon Musk personally off. Because he's at this point just kind of a straight up Nazi. I mean, the stuff that he posts is just so clearly white nationalist, stuff. So it's so you got that, and then of course anything with a trans person in, he is gonna lose.
It's gonna
his
set
mind
him
about.
off.
So
yeah.
I mean, I think what happened was he kind of single-handedly did this. I think
so too.
I don't think without him this would have been a huge thing.
Absolutely. I think
he definitely amplified it. We'll get into the timeline and everything here first, but just as kind of Kill the Computer tradition, we talk about our theater going experiences first.
Sure.
Unfortunately, I don't have a great one like I did last time. I had a pretty normal experience this time
for
as opposed
context,
to Melania.
Yeah. For context, Parker, we all had me, Caleb, and Josh Borman, host of the other show I do, Ill Conceived, and also Worst of All Possible Worlds, all had notably insane movie going experiences when we went to go see Melania. But no, I also don't really have an insane experience, but I think it'll be illustrative of sort of one of the narratives that we saw from the right recently once the movie came out. It was so I went to see it in IMAX in Chicago. Of course, it was a sold out theater for I really wanted to see it as soon as I could. A week ago, it was the weekend it came out, and so I was like, okay, I want to see it this Saturday, but the only seats available were front row.
Oh no.
I looked the next day, every seat was sold out except for the front row. Next day, same deal. All the way through the next Sunday was there more than the front two rows in the theater. So I was like, I just have to do the front two rows. And, it was a sold out theater experience, very typical of a blockbuster movie going experience. Nothing really weird. The only thing that I thought was funny that happened is there's a point in the movie very, very early on where I forget the name of the character, but the blind character.
John Leguizamo's
yes,
character.
His character. Loved his character, but
stole the show for sure.
Phenomenal performance. Loved his character, but early on he's looking at a breed of puppies and he's throwing them off the cliff until he gets to the one. And when he throws that dog off the cliff. Someone like everyone was like in the movie theater, and then one person, I swear, like started to cry. It sounded like there was sniffling, which I was like,
you were going to say laugh.
No one laughed. No, I mean, okay, I'll be honest. I kind of laughed. Because it's like funny. It's a good
John
joke.
Leguizamo, what are you doing, bro?
Yeah, it's like pretty funny. But there was someone in my theater that sort of started crying. But other than that, that was like, it was a very normal movie experience on my part.
See, I feel like you got to see that. You got to check that website. I think it's doesthedogdie.com, where they have like a list of movies, and it will let you know if an animal dies.
It's the counterpart to isthismoviewoke.com.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's like
I just checked. It is the most current. It's the most recent edition on doesthedogdie.com is the Odyssey. Yeah.
See, the day after I saw the Odyssey, I watched Obsession at home because they put it on streaming already.
Yeah. And
in Obsession, a cat dies, and it was like back to back, and I'm like, what the hell?
And you know what other movie this summer also had a pet die in it is a fucking Backrooms.
Yeah, see, I haven't seen Backrooms yet, but yeah, God, like I could watch a movie where, like, I mean, okay, back to the Odyssey. I could watch, that scene in Troy where they're like just slaughtering people, and it's just like, okay, cool, this is a movie. Those people didn't actually die. It's fine. But you even so much as imply that an animal gets hurt, and I will be so sad about it for days.
Yeah, no, it is very sad.
I saw Jurassic Park 2 on my I was a little kid whenever that came out, and there's the scene where the T-Rex eats the dog. I vividly painted into my imagination while we were talking about this the whole time. This is awful.
Yeah. Oh my God.
But yeah, I had a good time seeing the Odyssey. I really enjoyed it.
Did you see it in IMAX?
I didn't see it in IMAX. I saw it just at just like a regular screen, so I missed out, I guess. But like, I thought it was great. There were the moments, where the whole crowd kind of gasped when he threw the dog over the cliff. And then this is like the first time that this has happened in a long time. But when the movie ended, people applauded, and that was weird. I see people talk about this all the time, and I'm just like, who does that? Does that actually happen? And it happened.
It does.
And I feel like it's one of those things where like one person starts it and the rest just kind of go with it. And it makes me think about like situations where it's like, could I get this crowd to applaud something? Like now I'm trying to think of like times where that happens. Like people will say like, oh, they clapped when the plane landed. It's like, okay, you could like try to get more people to, like if I'm sitting down to dinner and like the food shows up. What if I start doing a round of applause? Will other people at my table join me? So
I feel like you definitely could.
I've been thinking about that.
Have either of you experienced flying, landing, and people clapping at that? I have not.
Dude,
No, I haven't.
Oh God, it feels like to me. Have you ever seen those videos? I don't know if they're real or not. I guess. But when people will have like, there's like a long delay in a flight and some fucking asshole will pull out their acoustic guitar and start singing and trying to like lift everyone's spirits. It's like spiritually the same thing to me.
I think the guitar is worse, but I think that I would get added to a terrorist watch list if that happened to me. I would not be able to contain myself.
Well, would you rather have a guy playing acoustic guitar on a flight or someone standing up and preaching? Because I've been seeing more of those videos lately, and I don't like it.
Yeah, I have been seeing those. I did see somebody bust out a ukulele on an airplane once, and that was pretty egregious, dude. Because they're small enough, you know what I mean? You could sneak them in a lot easier than a guitar, man. And it was like 3 rows away from me too. And I was like, I was traveling for work, didn't want to be there. You know what I mean? I was exhausted, and somebody pulls out a ukulele. I can't remember. That actually might have been the same experience where they did clap when it landed. So I was going to New York once. It was just the worst, dude. It was so fucking
The worst
terrible.
flight of all time.
Yeah, dude. I saw it kind of between you guys. I saw it in like baby IMAX. You know what I mean? There's only one real IMAX theater in Seattle, and I don't know if it already has or it's just about to close to the general public. It's just gonna be like a science center thing. So I saw it in the same. So I wanted to see it in the same theater that I saw Melania in. And for context, if you didn't hear that episode, it's like the little Hitler enclave suburban town next to Tacoma, Washington, called Gig Harbor, where it's like very hoity-toity, very like, it's just, if you're from the area. Last time I mentioned Gig Harbor, a bunch of people in the comments were like, oh my god, I can't believe you saw it there. So I did go back to Gig Harbor to see this because I wanted the experiment to see, like, would it be empty or whatever, because this is the woke movie or whatever, right? The boycott.
Oh my god, wait, yeah, so you went back to Hitlerville to see that.
I did.
That's so good, dude.
And the thing is, that's why I wanted to talk about our movie experiences, because that was kind of like my thing. The thing is, though, like I just saw it the other day. It took me a long time to be able to get a seat, because even though it was showing on multiple theaters, in and out of IMAX or whatever, like I couldn't get. I mean, I could have gone to a crowded one, but like for the most part, they were booked up for like a week and a half straight or whatever. You know, it was the woke mind virus has infiltrated Gig Harbor, Washington, is what I'm saying. Yeah, and it was like I went and saw it as same as I did last time, just right after work. It was a matinee. Did not smuggle in a sandwich this time. I was normal. I wasn't. I didn't get egregiously high on an edible that I underestimated or anything like that. I just went and saw it normally. But it was packed, dude. Like a weekday matinee. It was packed. So I was surprised to see that this was, you know, whatever, the Thursday or Friday after opening weekend or something like that. So it was like, oh wow, like okay, again, like, and Parker, we're going to talk about this in your piece, like the back and forth as to whether or not this sort of boycott worked or not, or what effects it had. But it was, to me, it was like, okay, well, like clearly, like nobody actually gave, well, to some degree, nobody gave a shit because butts were in the seats, right? So I think that's a good place to kind of go through the article. And Parker, what you had said was like, there's an easy version of this article where you could say, well, you know, everybody clapped because, you know, Elon Musk lost and this didn't really work or whatever. And that's true to an extent. And it is funny to make fun of Republicans for that. But that's not the whole story.
Yeah, it's basically, I can give you a quick rundown of the story. So, you know, you've got the Odyssey, and in the run up to the Odyssey, so going back about the past 6 months has been this sort of online campaign where anything new that came out about the Odyssey, Elon Musk in particular would get angry, and he'd be like, Christopher Nolan has failed the Western, I don't know, you know, he's just weird.
He failed the white race. Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah.
You know, when I was researching this piece, I did stumble across the fact that apparently Elon is friends with Christopher Nolan's brother, who's the screenwriter.
What?
Yeah, and Elon's only prior acknowledgement of Christopher Nolan was saying how cool he thinks he is on Twitter, and I was like, okay, cool. It was like, and it's from like 2 years ago. He's like, Chris Nolan's the best.
He's on a first name basis, even like the short. Everyone calls him Christopher normally, but he's like Chris.
Yeah,
Ooh.
dude.
Wow. So anyway, basically what happened was, you know, most of 2025 there were some grumblings about the movie, but it was like the usual stuff that happens anytime that there's like a sword and sandals type movie where it's just like the armor's not right. It's total nerd stuff.
Yeah, and to me, stuff like that, it's like, you know, have your fun. Have your fun. Exactly. I personally am going to sit my ass down at the seat and I'm going to be like, wow, that was a fun movie. You know how there's like the stereotype of people that watch any movie and they're like, wow, that was a fun movie, and then rate it like 4 stars or whatever out of 5. That's like how I do every movie. I sit down, I'm like, wow,
absolutely,
that's fun. Yeah, yippee. I clap.
You're the movie clapper. Yeah.
I mean, that's how it is for me too. I'm just like entertained. I can't think of the last time I left a movie and I was like, that sucked. Like I remember walking out of like The Rise of Skywalker and being like, that was fun. That was cool. And
Dude,
it wasn't for like another like
crazy,
day or two
Parker.
that it settles in where I was like, that movie kind of sucked and didn't make sense, huh?
The Rise of Skywalker is the only movie in my life that I've ever walked out of.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah, I
remind
just
me, is
couldn't do
that
it.
episode 7 or is that 9?
That's the
9.
last one.
That-
Yeah,
oh,
you're
that
thinking of
one-
The Last Jedi, which I also didn't like, but I didn't walk out of.
See,
and I didn't
my-
like it for anti-woke reasons. I need to be crystal clear. Don't kill me.
My strategy is if I feel like I'm going to leave a movie and be like, wow, that was ass, I just don't go see it in theaters. So
Yeah.
I didn't see Rise of Skywalker because I knew that was going to be kind of ass.
Yeah, I don't like Star Wars movies, really. That's the thing. Is like everyone's like, well, why didn't you like it? Well, I don't really like Star Wars movies. And why did you go see it? Because first of all, because I hate myself, but also like I go see everything anyway. You know what I mean? It's just like a hobby of mine to blow off steam or whatever. But I don't know. That doesn't really matter. The Star Wars doesn't matter. We're talking about the Odyssey. I just wanted to say really quickly that Elon Musk liking Christopher Nolan is a world that makes sense to me because, like, how do I say this? I don't know. I think movie people are either going to kill me for this or they're going to think that I'm completely right. But Christopher Nolan is like the most Elon Musk coded director working right now.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Or like, not Elon
he makes
now.
epic guy movies.
Yeah, like imagine Elon
yeah.
Musk in 2014 Elon when he still was kind of like masquerading as like somewhat like of a lib or something, like, you know, he was just kind of like the epic Reddit bacon guy.
Yeah.
Like that to me is like kind of like he's the guy who'd be like, oh, I love Chris Nolan, right?
I mean, you're totally right. I mean, I think, you know, Christopher Nolan put to film the like archetype of the Joker guy, like the Joker that everyone loves. And he created a generation of Joker guys. So like Christopher Nolan is that kind of guy for Elon type people, right? Like to me, that makes sense.
Yeah. I went back and looked up the tweet where he said nice things about Nolan, and it was in response to one of the Roman statue avatars history vids, which is at history in memes. Then it's just a video of, it says, in 2020, Christopher Nolan crashed a real Boeing 747 into a hangar for the movie Tenet, which it's like, I don't think that's history. I think that's just filming a movie. And,
That happened like a couple years ago, man.
yeah, and Elon responded, Nolan is awesome. But then the very next time he mentions Christopher Nolan was January 31st this year, responding to that Drew Pavlu dude.
Friend of the show, Drew. Yeah, our
that dude.
Australian correspondent.
Saying Chris Nolan has lost his integrity. But like,
Wow.
yeah. So anyway, so just to get us like caught
I
up.
loved
So,
him when he was crashing planes, but
Yeah,
the second he
it's
started
like-
hiring black actresses, I was out.
and that's the thing. So like, he's so like. So January 31st, someone complained about the rumored casting of Lupita Nyong'o as Helen of Troy, saying it insulted Homer.
No spoilers, by the way, but to be crystal clear, first of all, she did a great job.
Oh yeah, loved her. She's fantastic.
But she was also only on screen for like 3 minutes.
So that's another thing about this, which the whole time I was like, it's been a while since I've read the Odyssey, which was back in like, I don't know, like freshman year of high school or something.
Yeah, I was a teenager when I read
it was a long
like
time
an
ago.
abridged textbook version.
But I was like, I don't think Helena Troy played a big role in the Odyssey. Her story was mostly the Iliad. And, you know, and the same thing goes for, you know, which is the next thing that they freaked out about, was the rumor was that Elliot Page was going to play Achilles. And my first thought was,
Look, Achilles is dead. What are you
Achilles
talking
is
about?
dead. Yeah, I was like, he dies. That's the whole thing. And so anyway, so that rumor, which never made any sense, you know, which, you know, whatever. So that news, it was May 12th when it was confirmed that Lupita would be playing Helen, and then Matt Walsh went on a rant about how no one on Earth actually finds her beautiful enough for the part, and he only chose her to avoid being called racist. In it just goes on and on.
That's sort of been his whole thing. Like ever since he got his hit with What Is a Woman, that fake documentary he basically did. He's basically just been commenting only on race for the last 2 years. Yeah.
I mean, as he was so focused on trans stuff for a while. I'm okay with him focusing on literally anything but trans people right now. It's not good that he's focusing on race. He shouldn't be focused. He should shut up. But but if we get beyond all that, you guys
are getting a break for once.
Yeah, exactly. It's like just a breather. I'm sure he'll come back. He'll come back to that.
Well, midterms are coming. They got to figure out something because
they're gonna go so crazy about trans stuff.
I mean, I was joking, but like, I think a genuine part of this, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, Parker, is like the fact that this became such a thing. Is we've seen this a million times. This is the playbook that we've seen unfold.
Yeah,
I don't know, countless times. The midterms are coming, and they needed something to like rile the hoople heads up about, and I think that this was maybe a part of that. Like. Yeah, I'm jumping ahead here because like there wasn't really like there was rumblings of like paid campaigns or something. There was Dasha Burns in Politico had made a couple weeks ago like just an offhanded comment, very thinly sourced, where she had spoken to an executive at a conservative marketing agency, whatever the hell that is, unnamed, that was like, oh yeah, we were approached to like do stuff for this movie, but we had said no.
Yeah.
So like, I'm sure there was some, I just couldn't really find a through line. And I also know that there were like there were tons more than usual of like bot activity. So like, people were getting in on this for reasons to,
Yeah, I mean, it's really easy. If you post some weird right-wing stuff, it's going to do well on Twitter. If you don't, the last thing I posted on Twitter, I think it was, it was a picture of Kang the Conqueror from Marvel Comics, photoshopped into the final frame before Charlie Kirk gets shot. Because someone said counting or not counting Kang violence in response to a thing about Marvel. So that, which I think is hilarious, but it only has 13 likes. And I feel like that's not how Twitter should work or how it used to work. But anyway, so basically Elon Musk has been ranting and raving about the Odyssey for 6 months, and people have been jumping on board with it, and all the right-wing people out there have been complaining about it, and really it didn't seem like their issue was mostly those two roles. The Lupita Nyong'o playing Helen and Elliot Page existing.
Yeah, so it was with both of those roles. Of course, for obvious reasons, they don't want, black people to play the most roles in movies, but in particular this one. And I think the crazy part is, like, I don't think this needs to be said necessarily, but this isn't like a real thing that happened. The story of the Odyssey is not real. These people are not real historical figures.
Yeah, that's so funny. It's like two very funny things happened in the aftermath of this, which was, first of all, Elon Musk says he would give $100 million to Mel Gibson to like make a better, like a based Odyssey.
Yes.
And then he backed out of that and was like, actually, Grok will make a completely historically accurate version.
What do you mean
want that to happen.
accurate?
The historically accurate Cyclops. I need to see it.
And that's like the crazy part is like there a part of them talking about the casting is sort of them also talking about that it seems like they think this is real.
Yeah.
And it's like these are characters. Anyone can play these characters.
Right.
And also, like, they of course don't want to any trans woman or trans man to have any role in any public setting ever. Obviously, we saw that with Dylan Mulvaney. She did one ad on Instagram for Bud Light, and they tried to completely destroy her, nuke her from orbit over that. So they are trying to do that as well with Elliot Page. But I think the main part here is they seemed to keep tying it, and I think this was like a part of Elon's whole narrative that Christopher Nolan, in making this movie, it wasn't necessarily his fault. He like gave into like the woke Academy Awards changes in like 2025. They apparently, and this is not true, I believe from what I've seen at all, where you have to include like a black actress and like a different minority.
In order to get an Academy Award, you have to race swap one cherished character in the Western canon.
Which is like just not true at all either.
No.
And that was like a big part of his narrative around this and why he was talking about it so much and why it was apparently such a big deal, other than it being ahistoric, which hilarious by itself.
Which also it should be noted that like the whatever rules he's talking about, like they've been in effect for like going back like a couple years here, to the point where they were in effect when Oppenheimer won a bunch of awards, and Oppenheimer was like the whitest movie I've ever seen. You know?
Did you happen to find the source on that rumor that it was like, was it just something Elon made up, or where did that come from? I never found the source of that rumor.
Let me pull it up. It was something where it was like, okay, so basically to be eligible for an Oscar, you have to meet 2 of 4 inclusion standards that they create.
Hey everybody, it's Caleb. This has been a preview of a premium episode. You can find the rest at patreon.com/killthecomputer. Plenty left in this episode, a little under an hour to go. So I hope you join us there, and if not, no biggie. We'll see you next time. Thanks so much. Bye.